So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to quickly show you how to do these different types of headlocks, which are different types of chokes. We're going to look at the rectangle or a forearm choke. We're going to look at a triangle here with your forearm and your bicep. And we're also going to look at rear naked chokes, which is a type of blood choke. So I'll show you the three. The first one is the forearm choke or rectangle headlock. It's the quickest one to put on, one of the more painful ones because it's attacking the trachea itself, but I'm not going to make her pass out as quick, but I can cause some serious damage here. And so basically here, as they're coming in, I can snap this on quite fast. See, my forearm blade is into her neck and trachea. I've got my gable grip happening, and from here I'm pulling back with both my elbows, and I'm also cutting up here. To protect my face a little bit here, as I'm starting to put this on, I can turn my face away, and I can even press my side of my skull into the back of her head, as I also protect my own face here. Second we'll look at is how to do a triangle. And so with a triangle, very similar to the forearm, but now my hand just needs to go around further. Elbow in the middle, hand at the back. This is still a gable grip. Now from here, I actually want to squeeze. I actually want to squeeze my forearm and bicep together. I want to press in. This is the direction, the carotid arteries, to help the arteries restrict the flow of blood. And as it comes across here, I'm going to pull and cut in. Again, I can protect my face, turning it away, and then I can press. And I'm letting go here. And the same thing can be done with the takedowns. I can do the same type of things with the sitting takedowns or lying takedowns. Third one, rear naked headlocks or figure four headlocks. So what's happening is here, this is pretty much the bigger, meaner brother of a triangle choke or a crook of arm elbow headlock, like so. But basically, if I turn, if this is our triangle choke or triangle headlock, basically here I'm going to keep the controlling choking up. But this other hand now is actually going to snake to the back. And there's a couple of ways of doing a rear naked choke here. You figure out what works best for your anatomy, because everyone's a little bit different. And also when the attacker, sometimes that may change how you hold it. But basically this is still doing its main job of cutting off the carotid arteries with my triangle. But basically from here, this hand is going to come up high. And I want to take this as high as I can. And then from here, this hand is going to go to the back of the skull here. And my thumb will just be at the base where the skull comes down and lifts down here, at the top of the cervical spine. So in there. And with my thumb there and the rest of my hand high, I'm going to drive the head forward and chin forward down. And then basically here, this makes us a much more secure, tight, and stronger choke. So from here, I've come in like so, and then what I want to do is three things. I want to clamp this off, my forearm and my bicep again. I actually want to bring both of my elbows together as well, so I want to clamp my elbows together. And then from here, I'm also going to drive her head forward as well. Once I put those three things together, basically, Sally will be ready to tap. From here, it's a lot of pressure very fast, and if you were to hold it, this person could pass out very quickly. So if I've got it on here, and then there we go, very quickly. Good. The other version of a figure four headlock or rear naked choke, one I like to do, is when you start to bring this on, I like to, instead of putting my hand at the back of the head, I'll tend to turn my hand so my palm is facing towards me. And then I'll do exactly the same thing with forearm elbows. But with this hand here, what I want to do is I want to feel like I want to snake it. This hand, I want to feel like I want to snake it past and forward, here, like so. So it's like a snake trying to come out the side. So I put those together now with this one, and I find this one to be a much more tighter, stronger choke. There we go. And I'm still doing all the same things as before. So this is the one I like to do, where I'm pressing out. Now you don't want to just press with the back of the hand. I want to feel like this here, this gap, this is the noose. And what I want to do is I want to tighten and strangle this space up. So basically I don't want to press forward. I actually want to just close this up as much as I can. Here, like so. When you're putting on a rear naked headlock, figure 4 headlock or rear naked choke, make sure when you're doing this that you don't stick your arm out here and then come to wind it back in like that. The problem with that one is this attacker has got an arm to prevent an attack. So what happens is here, if you do that, this person can start to catch your arm and pull down. And at this point, they've got you in an arm bar. Because what happens is, as I've done this, my tricep is over her shoulder, and basically she stopped this here, and then she can start to arm bar me, preventing and also causing some pain. So from in here, to help protect against that, when I am doing headlock, you can see my hand for forearm choke, triangle choke. It's always very close. I don't want to be out here because it allows them too much to help to attack my hands and prevent it. So if I need to do this on someone, I always want to be quite shallow with my hands. This includes a rear naked choke. So as it's coming across here, I want this hand to come inside of this hand. This is why people will do this, to get it inside. But just have it up to come in nice and acute. And from here, I can then tuck it in high, and then I can go in for my rear naked choke. So another type of forearm, rear headlock or forearm choke is what's called a cross face. So what happens is here, this is typically done, this can all be done from standing and on the ground. What happens is here, a cross face is where I've got my bar of my forearm, thumb leading with the bony part of my forearm, and I've got this arm across her face. And it's called a cross face, coming across her face. And from here, I basically put the headlock on from here. And what this is doing is going for pain compliance again. It is not very pleasant whatsoever. Now they could do this initially because they're going for the neck, and if you've got your chin down here, so what happens is Sally, I've tried to attack her neck, but she's got her chin down. So from here, I don't give up. I just go put my bony part of my forearm, and I put it across her face. I can put it into her jaw, I can put it into here, which you will feel in yourself there, and I can put it here. It's where the back of your gums and your teeth are, with your cheek muscles, a very tender point there, or even into the actual jaw at the top here. I'm going to put my wrist bone and top of my forearm bone in there. And what happens is here, maybe I was going for the neck, and she's beaten it. What I can do is I can keep the press, and I can still get pain compliance out of it. It's not very pleasant. What you can also do with crossface as well is maybe I was going for the neck and she's got it in, and what I can do is I can go into a soaring action. And what happens is here, then, as you can see now, I've got it to her neck. So one way I can do works even better on the ground because I've got the position. Standing, I have a lot of movement. But if I haven't quite got the neck, what I can do with my bony part of my arms, I can start to soar my bony part across her face, so the forearm will tend to drop down into her neck. As the analogy is, water falls down off the face. So what happens is here, I want my elbow, or my forearm I should say, to drop and settle down in, and then from here I can attack the neck. And another one we have is a face bar, which is very similar to the previous one. Instead of actually attacking the neck, maybe they've gotten their chin down, or maybe I'm attacking their face. My forearm is now across their face, like so. I'm using the bony part of my forearm, usually the wrist bones, high. And when I put this, I can put this into their chin, into the bridge of the nose here. And again, I'm going for pain compliance and destruction. If I get it into their jaw, basically I can press straight back, pain, and also into their nose, and I can start to, again, and Sally's tapping very, very early. So I can actually cut this into the nose bridge, into the jaw, and I'm going to do the same thing. And this is all with the forearm chokes here, because I'm using the bony part for pain compliance or destruction. Additional things when training these chokes here is when you're putting on a headlock choke, your partner should always have their hand up, ready to tap, because if you've got your training partner, I don't really want to destroy their throat or make them pass out. So basically, when you're doing this, you have your hand up, so they're ready to tap. So when you feel a tap, I can let go of the pressure. It's also good to do taps with hand up, because sometimes if we're doing a blood choke and it works too quickly, and she doesn't have time to tap, at least I'll start to see usually the hand drop instead of a tap. And that's another visual indication this person has passed out. So basically when you're training, have your hand up. So as soon as you feel a tap here, I'm going to let go. Now, for training purposes and for real life purposes, if you're putting on a choke, you might be doing it for pain compliance. Now what happens is here, what one thing a person can do is when they're getting here, they might tap in real life on you to make you let go. Now if you've trained over and over again with feeling a tap and then letting go immediately, the problem is if it's a faint tap in reality, they've gotten you to let go through conditioning, and that will allow you to help you get out. So what happens is here for training, if you are putting this on as an attack to make them pass out, or at least pain compliance to get control, when you're doing this here, whichever one you're working on, and she's got her hands up ready to tap. When you start and she taps, when she taps, just release the pressure. So you can see here, when I've done this, I'll do one more here. I don't jump and open up and let go. So what I want to do is when she taps, I take the pressure off, but I do not let go of my position in my grip. Because here I can reapply it if I needed to. So here she's tapped on me, I relieve the pressure, now she's gonna do what as I say here, and she tries to struggle again, here I can put it straight back on. So when you do this, just release the pressure without letting go, because this will be a bad training response if you ever had to do this in reality. And by the way, it's also the flip side. If you're in a position that's terrible and you cannot quite get out, try a quick tap and see if they have a bad reaction by letting go as well.